When is the last time you bombed a quiz? When is the last time you remember blaming yourself for the smallest reason ever? And when is the last time you remember sharing your self-compassion? So when I first saw the theme for this year's TED Talk on how to cultivate a compassionate world, my mind, like most people when I first saw the theme, went to take examples where I received compassion for others, or learned how to express compassion for others. However, after thinking more about my personal experiences, I realized that compassion isn't something that can only be shown for other people. Compassion could and should be shown for yourself as well. Are there any people who believe in astrology here today? If you're a Virgo or a Capricorn, you're probably related to me. Well, I'm not a Virgo or Capricorn, but a Sagittarius. Anyways, I'm someone with very high standard for herself, be it academics, hobbies, or relationship with others. I always give my 110% and strive to be perfect. Well, we all know that humans aren't perfect. So what happens is, when I fail to meet my high expectation and set for myself, I get extremely disappointed and start criticizing. And I ask myself things like, why are you so stupid? How can you make such a careless mistake on a biology quiz? Or, why did you study harder for the math test? And this is when I find myself spiraling. And gradually, all these thoughts will become a negative feedback loop. And I find myself curled up in a bed for hours on end. So one day, when I was sharing my frustration with a friend, she said something that enlightened me. Paige, you're always hyping me up. Stop being so cruel to yourself and show the same compassion you showed us. And I realized something here. I'm always showing compassion to others, and I'm not showing it to myself. So the first step to solving any problems is to be aware that there's a problem. And essentially, we're all and this is based on the finding of Ivan Pavlov, a famous psychologist who won the Nobel Prize in 1904. So one day when he was doing a research about the digestion in dogs, he realized something very interesting, and that dogs would salivate whenever a researcher comes into the room. He believed that it was just a reflex process that wasn't under conscious control. However, he realized that the dogs had associated with lab coats with the food they have. And this is based on the fighting. And by pairing the unconditioned response, which is the salivation, to the neutral stimulus, in this case the white lab coat, a conditioned response occurs. And this is known as the Pavlov's theory of classical conditioning. So today, as a type A and a high schooler caught in a society where everything's a record, I understand the constant pressure to excel and to be more productive. However, at the end of the day, we all have to remember that we're humans and not machines. We make mistakes, have emotional up and downs, and have an innate need to maintain a relationship with our friends and family. So as my friend pointed out to me, I was being a hypocrite while preaching others the importance of having self-love and wasn't loving myself. So my question is today, how can we show others compassion if we're not showing it to ourselves at the first point? Thank you.